Welcome students, parents, Dr. Justin Smith, and faculty to the 10th Annual Crystal Apple Awards. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank a few people for making this day possible. Kristen Smith and Renaissance for sponsoring the event. Brian Pistone, Brian Pistone and his students for videotaping. Michelle Sheffer for her assistance getting the word out about the contest. Christian Hockenberger and his students for photography. Mike Shetler for technical assistance. Melissa Derpabosian for school store donations. Jim Murray and the custodial staff for setup. Margaret Moltz and the Garden Club for decorations. And Terry Riches for organizational assistance. It's no secret the word family means different things to different people and can take various forms. No matter the form, however, a true family provides its members with emotional and spiritual kinship through shared values, beliefs, and traditions, common experiences and activities, and unconditional, non-judgmental support. In many ways, different individuals relate to groups of people who provide them with emotional and spiritual connection as family, even if they share no legal or genetic bonds. Connecting to our One Book, One School program and the novel The Good Thief by Hannah Tinty, students were asked to write an essay or poem about an educator who made them feel like family through words and deeds. Overall, the educator was a positive influence who continues to make a marked impact on students' daily lives. I would now like to invite up Nick Raimondo to present his Crystal Apple Educator. Nick? Mr. Joe Ritter, can you please join us on the stage?
When I first came to Shawnee, I didn't know many people, but Mr. Ritter told me, get out there, make new friends. He's really shown me school's only as easy or difficult as you make it. And I'm sure we will be lifelong friends after high school and college. Mr. Ritter, I prepared a poem for you. A teacher holds a place in every student's heart, from when we leave for graduation and freshman year when we start. The time we first met, I felt a special connection, the way a student feels with a teacher's affection. You see me grow from young to old, a new person, caring and bold. I entered your classroom not knowing you or anyone, but together we experienced new things that were new and fun. I could go on forever and for hours long about your environmental songs, but I won't. I'll stop here. Thank you for everything you've done for me, Mr. Ritter. I've had a blast these past 4 years.
Thank you, Nick. I'd now like to introduce Marianne Gibson to present her Crystal Apple Educator.
Okay. Mr. Langan? Okay. Dear Mr. Langan, you are the best teacher because you always talk to me, help me look up stuff in health, and help me with my projects. And you and you are the funniest teacher I ever had. I will come back to see you next year. I will miss you next year, but you are still always my favorite teacher.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
They apparently have a secret handshake, so let's see it.
And oops. Okay. There you go.
Thank you. Thank you. We'll take that.
Thank you, Mary Ann. I'd now like to call up Caitlin Kresge to present her Crystal Apple Educator. And could we please have Chris Bemke come to the stage?
Miss Bemke is the best teacher I've ever had. She explains everything so well and never hesitates to answer questions. She even encourages students to ask questions. She is funny and makes class interesting by telling stories. Her classes are a perfect combination of funny stories, comments, and teaching. Good teachers become more rare as you get older, so it makes me appreciate her even more. Thanks for being such an amazing teacher and making me enjoy math again.
Thank you, Caitlin. I'd now like to introduce Nicholas Hall to present his Crystal Apple Educator. And could we please have Melissa Baden come to the stage?
There is no other teacher more deserving of the Crystal Apple Award than Miss Baden. I spend the bulk of my day with her and it makes me feel happy. Before meeting Mrs. Baden, I hated school. Now I don't mind coming to school since I see her every day. Mrs. Baden always listens to what I have to say. She helps me get through hard times and since she listens to me. She encourages me to set goals and helps me achieve them. She provides assistance with homework assignments during individual studies. Mrs. Baden is always understanding about things that happen outside of the classroom. She makes me feel safe expressing my feelings, which has never happened to me before in a school setting. Overall, Mrs. Baden is very nice, funny, helpful, peaceful, joyful, and optimistic. If it weren't for Mrs. Baden, I would still hate school. I'm very thankful to have her in my life.
Thank you, Nick. I'd now like to introduce Joseph D. and Tino to come to the stage, and as well as Dr. Jones.
Dr. Jones is an extraordinary teacher. She has had many positive impacts on me as a student here at Shawnee. Mrs. Jones wants all of her students to succeed. You can see that in her every day in class. She wants to make sure every kid understands what they're learning to the best of their ability. Many times when I didn't fully understand something, I would ask her a question, she would explain it, where I went wrong in the problem so I'd be able to understand it next time. If I'm still having trouble, I can ask her after class and she is able to explain it to me more directly than as opposed to a whole class. Mrs. Jones always opens up her time so kids can stay after school for extra help. She is a very nice and kind person. She likes to make up some of her own class activities and is able to write something that looks like it was professionally done. I even told her one day that I thought this one lab assignment was something NASA created and she was just using it. But it wasn't. That was her own work. She has had such positive influence on me. She has improved my motivation and general outlook on school. I enjoy going to physics class every day because of an awesome person like her. Last but not least, I'd like to say thank you to you personally, and I look forward to the rest of the year.
Thank you, Joseph. I'd now like to call Haley Wilmot to the stage to introduce her teacher educator. And I'd also like Miss Amy to come up to the stage.
Sometimes teachers forget what impact they have on their students. Whether it's a bad impact because you guys gave us way too much homework on a Friday night, or it's a good one by giving us no homework at all, hint, hint. You changed us from the moment we stepped in at freshman orientation to the moment we stepped out onto that field for graduation. You have taken the time out of your day to teach us, give us help, and expand our knowledge. Thank you. This strong woman I call my best friend, my mentor, and my second mother has gone above and beyond, not just to all her students, but to me. I can never thank her for the extra hand she lets me hold when I have nothing else to grab to pull myself up. I can never thank her enough for being there to listen to me when no one else would. She's always given me more than what she had, and for this award that I give to her will never be remotely close to all the things she has given to me. Miss Amy, thank you for giving me purpose, to go on in the world and do the things I love. You saved my life and saved me from losing one of the most important things a person could ever have nowadays, hope. I thank you for watching me and guiding me to the person I am today. I would have never found myself if it wasn't for you. Not only are you a strong woman who served time in the military, but you're a strong mother who raised two amazing children. You're also one of many great teachers at Shawnee High School. You're a bright light in a dark alley. You are fabulous. You're my go-to, my best friend, and my person. When the time comes that I go onto the football field and wait to hear Mr. Campbell call my name and receive my diploma, the feeling of excitement, the feeling of missing everything I went through at Shawnee High School, I'll know that the best memory, the best part of my day, or even what my favorite thing that I love most about Shawnee High School will always be you. Thank you.
Thank you, Haley. I'd now like to invite Megan McCullen to come to the stage and Mr. Mike Casey.
English is not everyone's favorite subject, but it had been mine until freshman year. As a freshman, I wanted to challenge myself and take honors. I struggled through the class because I didn't know how to study or analyze effectively, which were the two key components of the honors English courses. I squeezed by with a B my freshman year and left discouraged, thinking I wasn't as good at the subject as I thought I was. Sophomore year, I dropped down to accelerated, thinking I would have an easier time. I enjoyed the books we read in class and had made quite a few new friends in that class. After winter break, when Mr. Schulman retired, Mr. Casey took over. He taught us the proper way to study for tests, which I have carried with me throughout high school and will continue to carry with me through college. He incorporated as much technology into the course as he could. Using technology made the class easier and wasn't something any other teacher of mine had done before, so it was memorable and made me look forward to the class every day. Mr. Casey's obvious love and passion for his job made being one of his students such a gift. His humor and positive attitude made class enjoyable when things were tedious or hard to understand. It is easy for me to say that my sophomore year of high school was my favorite year because of his class. Mr. Casey has had a significant impact on my academic life at Shawnee, but he has also been an advocate to me outside of the classroom. As the coach of the boys' swim team, we have bonded over our love for the sport. He never fails to ask what races I'm swimming and wish me luck in them. His positive attitude has stayed with me, and he has made some of my hardest days easier simply by asking how I'm doing. This past September, I made the executive decision to run for a leadership position, and not knowing where to start, I shot a quick email to Mr. Casey, and he was immediately willing to help. He helped me with the writing process and gave me a few tips on how to give an excellent speech, some of which I'm using right now. Mr. Casey has played an active and important role in my high school career. He taught me the proper way to study, and that has carried with me throughout high school, landing me on the honor roll since my sophomore year. He helped me shape a positive outlook on life and has been a great mentor to me through my years at Shawnee. He reminded me of my love for English class, and I can't thank him enough for that. Knowing that I will graduate in June and leave behind great teachers like Mr. Casey is bittersweet, but I know I will use all the things I've learned from him throughout college and life. Thank you.
Thank you, Megan. Last but not least, I'd like to invite Brianna Stokes to the stage and Janet Takamoto.
I was lonely. I was really lonely. The beginning of freshman year was a nightmare, and all the flaws of my academic skills started coming to light. I was so extremely disorganized and on edge all the time. I had never been so lost in who I was. I kept trying to find something to be, but I ended up copying off others and becoming something false. I struggled with self-doubt and so much weight it felt like I was drowning. All these emotions heightened when I was at school. This was due to my unresolved anxiety of people and stimulation. In the halls of Shawnee, I could never breathe right and I could never fix it. But Miss T made me crack. She made part of me wake up and realize that I had responsibility. I'd always flown under the radar and done satisfactory work, but when I landed in honors English last year, all of that ended. She pushed me to change and improve who I was for the better. And now it's not like she made it obvious for me. If anything, her suggestion was most subtle. Perhaps she did not realize it herself. In the start of freshman year, I didn't know the proper structure of an essay. I had no clue what an expository essay was. I hadn't practiced parts of speech or sentence since elementary school. I didn't belong in an honors English class, but given the opportunity, I took it. I owe her a lot. For one, my grammar suppressed anything I thought it could ever be, and she should be proud of that as an English teacher. Also, I learned to say necessary things or phrases in my sentences. My knowledge on parts of speech has been polished and refined, and the constant vocabulary tests have increased my memorization skills and my understanding of complex words. I can take pride in saying I've learned more in Miss T's class than any other. The first thing I remember about Ms. Takamoto was her compelling yet maternal aura. I was used to a vague or gentle teaching style when it came to English, and this is perhaps why the thought of honors English didn't scare me. I figured it would be a piece of cake. Though I was stressed at first about this class, persevering rewarded me with favorable encounters that I would not have today if it wasn't for her. I was taught to respect her. She disciplined when it was needed, and I have learned how to treat my teachers appropriately because of her influence. She brought light to a variety of my own problems, more specifically my mental health. For years, I lived with unidentified anxiety. Everyone who knows would just tell me I just need to get out of my shell, and I was determined to blend in and not stand out, but that never coordinated with my essential personality. I was inspired to succeed with the little things Ms. T said to me. When she nominated me for the Student of the Month award, it reassured me to become myself and bloom into the person I always longed to be. The award focused on my handicapped sister, Amanda, and how I help her for daily activities. That one award and years spent with Mrs. Takamoto caused me to gain confidence in my ability to control who I am. To finalize, Mrs. Takamoto drove me to refine who I was for the best, and I would not be the person I was today if I had never set foot in that classroom. If I had not been aided by her wisdom in English, I'm sure my self-growth would never have taken place, and I would never have dared to escape from my darkened reality if she had not helped me along, and I am forever in her debt for that. I acknowledge her for doing this even while her mother was in such a poor health condition, and she should be recognized for her frequently nominating students for the Student of the Month Award. In this essay, I greatly thank her for being my teacher.
Thank you, Brianna. Congratulations to all of the Crystal Apple Award winners and students. You did a great job today, and all of these teachers are great. All the teachers are great, but it's wonderful to hear these stories and stories of inspiration. Before we go enjoy some refreshments out in the atrium, I wanted to also take a minute to notice there's some second-time winners who will receive an Apple Pin, a certificate, and their student's essay. But I just did not want to neglect, and I wanted to show you these are second-time winners. Students wrote essays about you, but here they are, and it shows how they're a second-time winner this year and how they won and what year they previously won, if you take a note. So round of applause for these people, too. So. Well, thank you very much, and please join us for refreshments in the atrium. Thank you.